Hey guys, this is Jade Marie with VIVA GLAM magazine. Today I'm going to teach you how to get that modern Muse beauty look. So what we're going to do first is we're going to apply a primer to her eyes. We're going to use Painterly by MAC. This is just going to be a good base for the eyeshadows. And I apply it just on a fluffy brush. This one's from Real Techniques. And we'll apply it all the way up to her brow bone. Next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and go in there and set this primer so she has a really nice base to her eye. I'm gonna be using the Lorac Pro Kit today, and we're gonna start with the color It Pink all over her eye. I'm applying it with a fluffy blending brush from Luxie Lush. And we're just gonna go everywhere that the primer was applied to her eye. Now we're ready to go ahead and go in there and really define everything with darker neutral tones. So I'm going to go in there with a soft brown from the Lorac Pro Kit. I'm going to be using the color Taupe, and we're going to blend this into her crease. We're going to start defining this area, and gradually we'll go a little bit darker. Go right into her socket, and you can go back and forth, kind of like windshield wiper movements. We're going to apply a darker brown to the outer corner with a smaller brush. And we'll blend it out with a softer brown after. We're gonna go back in there with Taupe to blend this out with the same fluffy blending brush. And when you blend, just do it in circular motions, and we want to blend outwards and inwards. Open your eyes. We're going to go ahead and go in there with a lighter color to define her brow bone and to clean up any fallout of the brown. I'm using the color Cream from the same kit. You can go around the eye right here to clean up any shadow. Open your eyes for me. We're gonna go in there with a goldish bronze color to add a little bit of shimmer to the center of the eye. So I'm gonna have her look down and we're just gonna press it right onto the lid. And we're kind of brushing down right into the center. It also gives it a type of foil look to the eye. Open your eyes for me. We're gonna diffuse it just a little bit with a brown on top, but I'm gonna do the same to the other eye. I like to use this trick with all of my shimmers. It's the most amazing trick that I know, and it really pops all the shimmers. You can even do it with your highlighters on your face. It makes the color stand out a lot more. Now we're gonna go ahead and go in there and blend all the colors together. I'm using Sable. I'm gonna have you look down. And we just want to blend out this shimmer just a little bit so it's not so gold. I'm gonna have you look forward. We're gonna go in there with a little bit of black liner to define her top lash before we pop on some false lashes. I'm gonna go ahead and use a liquid liner. This is a pen from Galactic. Go ahead and look down for me. And you just wanna start at the outer corner and work your way in short stroke motions. This doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna go over it with a black shadow to smoke it out. We're just gonna start from the outer corner first, and we'll do the front after we put her lashes on. I'm now gonna be applying the cat lashes in number 415. With the Duo Dark Tone Glue. These have already been shaped to her eye and trimmed. Look down for me. We will now be going in with the same Galactic liner pen and hiding the strip of the lash. I'll be going over it with a little bit of a dark brown shadow just to smoke it out a little bit. To make the corners a little bit darker now that she has her lashes on, we can just go in with a little bit of a darker brown shadow if you like, to make it a little bit more smoky. Towards the camera. Now let's add a little bit of liner on the bottom lashes. We're going to be using the Anastasia Pro Pencil to line her inner waterline. Now it can look a little weird at first, so we'll have to line underneath. Now we're ready for a little bit of mascara. To blend her real lashes into her false lashes, I like to leave the lashes bare first and then add mascara after. And you just want to push the lash right up into the falsies and they'll blend perfectly. We're gonna apply a little bit of mascara to her bottom lashes. Let's highlight her inner corners of her eyes, and then we can move on to the brows. So I'm going to be using the Champagne Shimmer color. And just popping it into her inner corners. Now we're moving on to the brows. I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Pro Brow Pencil, and we're going to be brushing her brows up first, and then moving them into the shape that we want them. So I'm going to lightly go in here with this pencil, and we're going to go in with some powder after, but I don't want her brows to look overly drawn on, just a little bit more filled in. So with short strokes, we're just going to fill in the areas that need a little bit more coloring. The ends of the brows are typically where most of the hairs are sparse, so I like to really focus on that area, and you want to do a sharp movement down with little strokes. We'll leave the front of the brow to the powder so it looks a little bit more natural. And now we can fill them in with a little powder and an angled brush. So I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pro palette. We're going to be using dark brown, and I'm using the Real Techniques angled brush to apply this. And we're just going to start from the front and do short stroked motions. This brush is amazing because it's really fluffy and it doesn't take too much product so they don't look overly drawn. I like to push the brow hairs up in the front, and that way the powder gets on the hairs naturally. And then towards the end, you can use a little bit heavier hand. I'm going to add a little bit more contour and blush, and we're going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. I'm going to be using the color Havana. So we're going to get right in here into the really close to the ear, and we're going to blend towards the nose. I like to stick with the darker colors closest to the ear, and then we'll blend them lighter so it looks more natural. To brighten up her under eyes, I'm going to use this yellow tone called Banana, and we're just going to apply a little bit more underneath the eyes, just to catch any fallout that came from the shadow. I'm going to apply a little bit more highlighter, and there's a beautiful highlighter in this kit. And we're gonna just apply it the same area on the highest parts of the cheekbones. I'm gonna do a little bit more contour on the nose. And I'm gonna be using my favorite color for the nose contour. This is MAC Trace Gold. We're just gonna define it a little bit more. This is a gold shimmer bronzer. So she really doesn't need much more contour. We're just gonna go over it a little bit. Pop on a little bit more blush with a stippling brush. I'm gonna have you smile. And what the stippling brush does, it actually applies less product to the face. So when you want a light blush, this is perfect, a perfect brush to use. And just pull it up towards the temple. Our last step is the lips. First thing that we're gonna do is line the lips with my favorite nude liner from the brand Essence in the color In the Nude. So what we're gonna do is line the entire lip and fill the lip in with the same color. Sometimes I like to use lipstick, sometimes I like to use liners. Today we're gonna do a liner with a gloss over it. I feel like liners stay sometimes longer than lipsticks, so that's the reason why I like to do that. To define her top lip, we're just gonna really define her Cupid's bow. And then fill it all the way in. We're gonna use a beautiful gold gloss. This is from MAC and it's the color Water Deities. And we're gonna pop it right in the center.